is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. Today we are going to take a look at Threezero's Nemesis Prime from the movie The Last Night, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Like I said, I've been a fan of the Threezero Transformers for a while now, and he's no exception. I tried to rewatch The Last Night. I made it through. I watched it before, but it didn't stick. So now I made it through where he was fighting Bumblebee, and then I kind of stopped. It was an okay movie, I suppose. I was trying to be nice here as well. It was an okay movie. The design, Nemesis Prime didn't come out till towards the end of the movie here, but it's a unique take. It's a beautiful look, just as a figure for Nemesis Prime. If you are collecting, Transformers and whatnot, I think it's a very good look. You can see here, we'll open it up, and Threezero always does this. I mean, the price is decent. It got higher as the years have passed by, but I still think that they're one of the best, if not the best, line of Threezero has to offer, because it is die-cast. They don't include the batteries though, which is, the battery is nice, but I always have to get one, and this one I didn't even attempt to, because I barely use it, honestly. The effects on the eyes are cool, but down the line I use it. I will get more Optimus Prime in the future from these guys, because they are just so addictive. Like, once you get one, the details that they come with are just phenomenal. So it comes with a bunch of hands. We'll take a closer look into his hands on the accessory section as well. But one thing that's missing, as you already know from these releases, are the articulated fingers. So this is, you call it the Iron Blaster, I suppose. This is I don't know, like a blade that comes out of his forearm. It came out when he was fighting Bumblebee. That is the best scene by far on this movie. I wish I would have gotten the Bumblebee from The Last Night when it was available, but it was only like 2. And you got a bunch of, as you can see there, adapters and whatnot to include in his bat. And this is a new one. If you have any Prime before, there's a Primal Prime that is available now as well. I might pick that up, because I did like Beast Wars. The movie. I don't watch any cartoon of Transformers. This is all movie based. And at the bottom, you see there's 2 trays in here. At the bottom tray, there is a stand. All of Transformers does have a stand, compared to Threezero's lack of stand with Rambo and the other Walking Dead figures. So let's take a closer look at the accessories here. This is the stand that they do have. It works, for the most part. It's more complicated than it should be. So you have this kind of like lever to raise it up and down, so you can lock it in place. So this is not ratcheted, so you actually have to remove them. There's like to hold it in place, so you can move it around, and then you press this, and then it goes up, and then you release it. And then you press it again to move the height up and down. So, it works. It works. It's just like for some angles, it's not that effective. And this is the hand that you use for. I mean, he's a robot, so there shouldn't be, left or right. He can hold his gun. Should be equally as good. He's not like he's right-handed or left-handed. But this is they call it the Iron Blaster. Looks cool. Nice colorway, by the way. Really vibrant, but he does have a lot of weapons here compared to my other Optimus Prime that I've reviewed in the past. And you got some open palm hands. You do get that hole in there because you are gonna insert the kind of like the cover for his hands out there, so you can swap it out. This is more of a relaxed hand. And so you can see here, like I said, there's no articulated finger hands, which I'm used to with Hot Toys Iron Man. And this is the sword holding hand, which I wish the hands were a little bit more softer. And this is a replacement for his forearm, so you could insert this blade on his left. Is it left? Yeah, left forearm. There you go. The blade is nicely detailed as well. And you have several. This is the faceplate. I guess that's open. And this, what do you call this? Iron sword, I believe is how they describe it. Nice details on this. You can see some markings in there. Some nice sculpting. It is plastic. It's not made out of die cast. For the most part, the figure itself has a good weight, and they said it's die cast as well. And this is the ion shield. There's several attachments here, so you can insert it in his back. The straight is for his back. The one that's has an angle is on his forearm. It feels like it's way too big for his forearm, but you could do that because this shield can act as a blaster as well. It does have. And this is for his back, so you can insert the sword. And I'm gonna, show that configuration later on within the figure. But you could theoretically just put all of his weaponry within him if you choose to do so. I mean, he's gonna look loaded, but he looks cool. So if you want to go that route, that is possible as well. But let's take a look at the details for this guy. You're in for a treat if this is what you're looking for. If you are a Transformer fan, you would love this, because how it works is it's a combination of die cast. I love Iron Man because all of the details on it, but this looks phenomenal. You can see all the, and most of them are die cast. I don't know, for some reason it doesn't feel cold to the touch like an Iron Man, but they are not flimsy. It feels like you're gonna break some parts, but they're in a ball joint, like some of the metallic parts, so you can move it around. Tons of articulation in here, which I'll show later on. They're very functional. See those pistons in the back? They actually do work when you move the figure up and down, but it's just phenomenal how the engineering here works. Also, the paint application is red and vibrant. You see the flames, the back, you can see some ratchets and everything else. And when I move him around, I don't feel like I'm gonna break him. And that's very important, because a figure of this scale and also all these details, you don't want to mess it up. And things do move around on his shoulders, on his back, on his kind of like in the leg area, that it allows you not to hit each other's parts, not to damage them. But you can see the paint application, within the body, some scratches on his forearm. See all the hoses, all the beautiful details on this figure. Looks great. Beautiful. It doesn't disappoint. I just noticed that there's some same like lettering on his shin guard as his sword in the head sculpt. Let's jump into the head sculpt here. I didn't have any batteries to complement this guy. It's a special battery. It's not like Hot Toys battery. I'm sure it lasts longer, but we're gonna have to do without one. But you can see the eyeballs out there. It does light up blue. I like the dust speckles within it, because it gives you that metallic vibe, like on the ears. You already see the gap on his head, because I try to remove it. This is a better implementation of the battery, by the way, because before you just take it out and there's conductors and all that stuff, but this one actually has a screw this time, so it has a proper compartment. You see on the side here, the red on the side of his face, and the other side is blue. Just beautiful color combination. It's just vibrant. I love it. And the look here, I'm guessing this is the closed kind of like mouth version, and that is the switch right there on the forehead. So you just kind of push it forward, and typically that would light up if it has batteries. So you see that copper switch right there. That is what it opens up. It's not magnetic, so you just kind of, it's a friction fit, so you just kind of push it up and down. And this is the comparison to the other face plates. So the one on the left is the default. The one on the right, I'm assuming that's the open kind of like version of this. Not a big deal, but it's an option. So articulation wise, very articulated figure. See, that's a tight bend on his arm. You could actually move this part. There's a butterfly joint. So what you want to do is pull this one down. Mine is kind of new, so just be careful. But I was able to just maneuver it. You could rotate this arm 360. Just make sure this part doesn't hit anything, so you don't damage, because it could lead into some rubbing and all that stuff. You see this? It rubs. You can raise it up. You could move the shoulder pads around. You see it goes up now, so you can put it down. There's two joints on the up. There's one on the upper waist, like on the rib section. Look at that bend right there. And then on the back, it just looks beautiful. See that? And it moves forward. And then you could twist just a little bit on. This is the upper part, and then there's a lower part right here. It is a bit tight at first. See the bend on the elbows. Two bends on the knee area. There's no side-to-side movement on the ankles, which kind of sucks because he has a flat foot. So you always, and he can stand fairly on his own. But since the side-to-side is missing, you can, move forward and back. On that side is working as well. So it's kind of hard to put him on a flat surface without being kind of wonky if you decide to do like a dynamic pose. There you go. But yeah, articulation wise, I have no issues, to be fair, with a whole lot of DLX transformers. You can see his forearm right there. And then what you want to do, not this one, so put it back. It's actually backwards. I'm just an idiot here. There you go. Yep. This forearm, you put in the other one, and then you insert this piece like that. So you will put the and then the ionic shield is what they call them. And this part you take out, and then you have several options. So you could include this part where that's where you're going to put the shield on his back if you want to put it that way. And then if you want him with a sword on his back instead, you'll just insert this and then just slide the sword on his back. So now he has all his weapons within him. So let's go to some poses here, and I have him kneeling down holding his blaster with a shield on his back, as I was explaining earlier, and he got the forearm blade. He doesn't have the sword yet. So this one he's pretty loaded, like you don't have to. And I love it when you have a figure like this where you only need to keep the hands and the parts, basically so not everything is in the box, so you can have him lock and loaded here, ready to fight. Just you can look at that knee bend right there. That's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about on the foot. I wish it had some side to side. And here he is, with the shield on his back and holding the sword. I feel like the ionic shield is way too big for his forearm anyway. But we're gonna test it out. That's just the beauty of this transform, and it could hold. All these weaponry is plastic, so they don't put too much stress on the joints of the figure. It's not too heavy to a point where it's gonna fall off. I've experienced that personally with, let's say, Inart with my Joker. He does have the die cast gun, and normally the hands would just, the joints are not strong enough to hold that. And here he is, with a sword in his back, with the shield in his forearm, which it looks pretty cool, but I feel like it's already it looks a bit silly with how big it is on his forearm. But hey, it's upon you. How you want to display your figure is up to you. I wish it has like a light up function, kind of like the one from Beast Wars where it does light up. But then again, they don't provide batteries, so it's okay. But it looks cool. I love the look of this Nemesis Prime. It's not the most popular Prime out there, but I still love it. And there you go. Final thoughts on this guy. I would go as far as saying it's a must-have on how unique the figure looks with Nemesis Prime. Now, I've been away from Transformers for a long time now. So I don't know how significant this look is in the comic books and in the other worlds. I would just refer to the last night, and just the overall aesthetics of the figure, and I feel like it looks great. You could have this in the typical Prime. Any Prime that you get, he's like Batman. Every different suit that you do have, you can kind of talk yourself into getting that suit. There's no of course there's the classic Prime. You need to have that, but at the same time, having this guy Primal Prime, it is tempting. Like I said, it's like having different Iron Man suits. Do you need all of them? No, but is it cool to have all of them? Absolutely, because they do have distinct different differences within them that you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. Like I will get this figure just because of how cool this looks. And that's how I feel about Prime, Bumblebee. Maybe other figures of Transformers, I wouldn't do that. Maybe I just only need one Starscream or something like that. But with Prime and B, you're almost compelled to do so. But let me know in the comments down below, how do you think about this figure? How do you feel about this? Are you interested in picking this up? Once again, I put the link for Big Bad. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.